Just me and you, baby, Chris.
Takes me a little while to get set up. Hey, did you hear there was a Nigerian prince that was scammed by a Somali immigrant? He was just trying to get ahead. That was pretty good, right? Usually I just wear this shirt around family because they're a bunch of students, but you guys are family now, so. You know, Italians are big hand talkers. We're just going a mile a minute all the time. I had a shoulder replacement a couple of years ago, and they put me in one of those wraparound slings. I developed a speech impediment. I couldn't talk. You know, the greatest invention for Italians were the stemless wine glasses. I can't tell you how many hundreds of dollars in stemmed wine glasses Pixie and I knocked off the table. You know, as a kid, my lunchbox had linen napkins, a wine glass, silverware, and extra meatball sandwiches. I used to sell those to the Jewish kids. Yeah, I'm in Publix, and you can hear I got a very heavy New York Italian accent. This guy comes running over to me, and he says, "Hey, talk like you're from New York. Let's go for coffee." I said to him, "Riesling, I don't come up to you and say, 'Give me fly lice.'" You know you're Italian when you use the rubber band from the Broccoli Rob as your wallet. I visited my grandfather and I said to him, "Grandpa, I need a new wallet." He reached in the drawer and he threw 10 rubber bands on the table and he said, "Pick the color you like." So Italian women, I'm convinced that Italian women can breathe through their ears. I've been around 6 generations of Italian women and they talk incessantly, which blows out of the water that whole theory of, I'm not sucking that because I can't breathe. You know, growing up in Brooklyn, the Italian and Jewish neighborhoods are always adjacent, right? So you develop friendships outside of your own community. 2 of those friends for me were Ira and Heshy. Italians have a patron saint for everything. If we lose something, we pray to St. Anthony. Even in the afterlife, we got a guy. But Heshy had a goy. You know, maternal guilt is something that both cultures are famous for. Italians, it's not too bad. I mean, you know, your mother and your grandmother, they haunt you and guilt you into showing up for that big dinner every Sunday, right? You got to show up, all the cousins are there. But Jewish mothers, they work in guilt like it was an autistic medium. They're just so good at it. You know, my pressure was always show up for dinner, maybe I end up with indigestion, a little agita. The result for them is they got to either go to law school or medical school. So, you know, and they end up with a lifetime of colitis. So to start out our collegiate education, the 3 of us went to Baruch College in the city of New York. We were going to become accountants. I walk into the class with Heshy and Ira, and there's only 5 people in the class without yarmulkes on. I'm one of them, and 4 girls. And they would break my chops about wearing those velour tracksuits, right? With a little Italian flag on them. But I was always jealous of the monogrammed yarmulkes that they had. And much to my surprise, after that first accounting class, they gave me my own yarmulke. It had a little Italian flag and Rocky on it. You know, Italians and Jews all have special delicacies. You know, we've got meatballs, we've got rice balls, we've got mozzarella balls. My Jewish friends countered with matzah balls. Matzah balls are made with unleavened flour, guilt, and schmaltz. What schmaltz? They share corned beef with the Irish, they share brisket with the rednecks, and now they share a strip of land with a group of people that wants to kill them every day. Ooh. You know, Italians and Jews, we don't start shit, but we know how to finish it. My friends would come over to the house on the holidays, and they would eat like they were going to the chair in the morning. And my nonna would always say, "These are guys that they know got food in the house." So they would come over, and you know, we'd have an antipasto with 14 different kinds of salami, 20 pork products. We got 300 kinds of commercially available cheese. But Heshy's got lactose intolerance. He can't enjoy the cheese. On Christmas Eve, Italians have the Feast of the Seven Fishes. And my friends knew that you don't show up at an Italian household with empty hands. So Heshy walks in with a jar of gefilte fish. He called it number 8, the Yogi Berra of fishes. As we aged, I got more ornery, and they got more phlegmy. Finally, I have a question. What do the Moyles do with all of those foreskins? My theory is it showed up in the Topps baseball cards from when we were kids. That's why it was so chewy. All right, that's my time. I'm Uncle Rocky. Let's hear it for Carson. He does a great job hosting this.